So, Halloween may be over, but spooky season never ends here at Carnage Reviews. Meh, heh, 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 heh. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Carnage Reviews. My name is Eric, and we're kicking off the month of November with a thinking man's horror film. It's known as a spiritual successor to Rosemary's Baby, Zach Parker's 2010 film Proxy. Just a quick reminder to please consider subscribing to the channel. Just click the subscribe button along with the bell icon so you're notified when I upload new content. So I fully intended to review this movie weeks ago. However, I decided I wanted to take my time with it. It's a very deceivingly complicated film. I don't mean that it's hard to follow, I just mean there's a lot going on in it. And just to warn you guys that my plot description is going to contain some spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie and you intend to see it and you want to see it fresh, I highly recommend you maybe skip my plot description. Proxy was directed by Zach Parker. It stars Alexia Rasmussen, Alexa Havens, Christina Glebe, and Joe Swanberg. Proxy begins with a pregnant woman named Esther receiving an ultrasound. After the appointment, she is knocked out and savagely attacked. While in the hospital, she discovers she has lost her baby due to the attack and is given the information for a support group for families who have lost their children and loved ones. She befriends a woman named Melanie from the group who tells her she lost her son and husband in a car crash caused by a drunk driver. While filling out a job application at a store, Esther sees Melanie frantically yelling out for Peyton, which happens to be the name of her son. After Melanie causes a scene, Esther learns that her son and husband are alive. Later on, we learn that Esther's aggressive and jealous girlfriend is the one who attacked her. This was done at the request of Esther, who we learn likes to get attention and sympathy. Feeling a connection with Melanie, Esther tries to kiss her. When Melanie rejects her advances, Esther lets her know she knows she is lying and that her son and husband are alive. Distraught at Melanie's rejection, Esther stalks Melanie, breaks into her home, and kills her son, so Melanie and her can be together. Esther is violently killed via shotgun by Melanie's husband. After getting released from prison, Esther's girlfriend finds out about her death and is desperate to get revenge. Meanwhile, Melanie is faced with the harsh reality of losing her son. Or could it be that her fantasy is finally coming true? On the surface, Proxy may not seem like a horror film, and in the traditional sense, it's not. It's not going to jump out and scare you or push the envelope with a bunch of gore. It is disturbing, but on another level. The story is a very slow burn. When you watch it for the first time, you kind of wonder where things are going to go. Once certain things are revealed, though, it all becomes clear. There are some tense and disturbing scenes in the movie. When Esther gets attacked, which is pretty graphic, by the way, she's rushed to the hospital, and we see a brief shot of her baby being removed, which I was not expecting. I love the way that Proxy is shot, and I love the techniques the director uses. I really enjoy the scenes where the camera is either slowly moving in or out, just kind of lingering before we slowly get to see what we're meant to see in the scene. This may seem like a weird thing for me to say, but I like how child death is handled in the movie. It's effective and tastefully done. In the scene I'm referring to, we see Esther. She's just broken into the house. She enters the bathroom where Melanie's child is waiting to be given a bath. She closes the door behind her, and then we see her slowly walk towards him. And then at this point, we cut to the hallway where the camera is just kind of slowly pushing out. And then we start to hear sounds of water splashing. The movie handles sounds very well. And so basically, we're seeing this kid be killed and drowned without actually seeing it due to the audio noise of the water splashing, which I think in most cases can be more effective. What we can't see is oftentimes more scary because what the human mind visualizes as happening is oftentimes more disturbing than what's actually happening, if that makes sense. Which I think is kind of the whole main theme of the movie, is that the mind can be pretty fucking fucked up. The scene where Esther is killed by Melanie's husband is also very well done. Just the visuals and the slow motion, when she's shot, like you don't really hear, there's music and the slow motion, but you hear the gunshot. And then just the splatter of the blood, the way the blood just splatters out of her, like from the behind her. and just the visuals of that, the slow motion. And I really love the way too, when she falls in the tub, the way the water just splashes everywhere. For some reason, I love the way water looks in slow motion. It's just hauntingly beautiful. After the murder of their son, Melanie's husband is, of course, traumatized. In fact, at one point, he tells Melanie that he wishes he didn't kill the intruder. He doesn't actually know that it's Esther and that Melanie knows Esther, but he tells Melanie that he wishes he didn't kill her and that instead he kept her captive and used his tools in the basement to find out who she was. Because he's just confused at this point. He has no idea who this woman is or why she was even there. We then see a scene where Melanie's husband enters the bathroom and pulls a screaming Esther out of their bathtub. Later on, we hear screaming noises and we see Melanie's husband come out of the basement. His shirt is just covered in blood. And then in the next shot, his shirt is clean. Now, when I first saw this movie, I was confused by this, and I actually missed that whole scene, actually. I didn't realize that his shirt was clean when I first saw it. It took me a little bit to realize that we were actually inside of his mind. We were seeing him fantasize about torturing Esther, and then we see him snap back to reality. The human mind is a scary thing, and I think that's what the main theme of this movie is. What our brain will make us do to achieve the response we want. What we'll do to ourselves or to others to get attention. There's a scene in Proxy that I think is very telling. And when I first saw it, when I first watched the movie, I didn't really think much of this scene. It didn't really hit me as being significant. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, wow, that's interesting. So there's a scene where Esther, after she's recovered from being attacked, she goes back to the hospital where she was taken to. And she just wants to sit in the waiting room. She just wants to sit there. And I was thinking, why are we seeing this at first? But then I realized she's going back to the place where she received all this attention, to where she got all this attention from police, nurses, hospital staff, etc. And that's what she wants. She wants attention. So that's why she's going back there. The two women who play Esther and Melanie do a really good job in their roles. The way in which they make us feel sorry for them, but also hate them at the same time is truly something to see. Especially Melanie. Just watching her slowly become unhinged, each scene, is something else. So is Proxy for everyone? No, probably not. It requires attention to detail and patience. If you're looking for something a little different, I highly recommend it. I give Proxy 5 skulls. Thanks for checking out today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please tap that like button. And if you have not done so already, please also consider subscribing to the channel. Have you guys seen Proxy? Let me know in the comments your thoughts on it. Until next time, guys, I bid you adieu. Goodbye.